no matter who you are, where you are, what your choices have been, and what karmic timelines and contracts you have journeyed, the light is calling for the reunification of all aspects of life in this realm now. It is calling for the cleansing of all polarities. It is calling for the rising of all sacred heart centers now. All are being summoned home to the greater light now.
Dear One, it is I, Mother, Father, God, Creator of all beings, all things, all universes. I am here to tell you a story of great change, of blessings and delight, and most importantly, a story of valiant faith. There once was a boy who journeyed to Earth to a lovely home, lovely parents, and lovely surroundings. He was born into love and felt at home in this new life. He played and ran free as the wind, knowing his way on the land and his place in his family. He was alive and secure in who he was and how his life was unfolding. And then, one day, a storm came and ravaged the land. The song in his heart grew still, for he could not understand the wrath and scope of such a storm. Why should things of this nature ever occur, he sobbed to himself, asking. His family's wealth and prosperity seemed to dwindle, as the land no longer could bear fruit to support the life they'd been living. And so, together, they set out on foot to find new land and new fortune somewhere where storms might not reach them and where they could start anew. They searched and they searched, from the cliffs to the sea and back again, longing for the safety and comfort of home to reestablish itself for them. But alas, they just couldn't seem to find the land that would support them in the ways they'd been prospered and afforded before. And then one day, as if by mirage, they saw a beaming city of light. Where had it been all this time? They'd walked every particle of this land, every grain of its sand and its soil. Never before had they seen this golden city of light. It was so startling that their consciousness doubted its existence. They all saw it, but felt they must be seeing things. Yet they journeyed nonetheless right to its very doors. And when they walked in, they realized this was no ordinary city of light. This was an otherworldly portal of dimensional living. The warmth they felt there invited them in. It greeted them with reassurance. It filled them with a sense of home and well-being, the kind they had not felt since the ravaging storm that took their previous home from them. Mesmerized by their good fortune and the magic of the possibility of where they'd landed, they immediately felt called to stay, to remove their shoes, and to relinquish their search. For they believed they had found a new home. So they did just that. They took off their shoes and settled in, breathing sustenance from the mere frequencies of light there. As they settled in, fruits of every kind became their experience. Harvesting was an everyday experience. Only they took only what was needed, no more. Their every need was cared for in this magical place. By and by, they seemed to grow sleepy in this magical place, though. While it met every need, perhaps even better than their previous homeland, it made them less eager, less passionate, less purposeful. One day the boy said to his parents, "I think we must go," and see if there are other lands that invite us to live and work together with the land, so that we have a sense of contributing again to our lives and to this great earth. The parents, sleepy in their satiation, knew the wisdom in what the boy was saying, and together they once again left the security of their homestead to find a more rightful fit to their unfolding journey. And so they once again walked the earth, seeking the homeland they knew in their heart's visions and in the memory of their feet and hands, walking many miles every day searching for that rightful place, each day remembering where they'd been, reflecting on what they'd had, but knowing still something else was calling to them, yet never knowing what that was. They simply continued walking towards its call. And then one day a path appeared before them, a path they had not seen before, but that still somehow felt familiar. Committed to exploring all possibility, they joined with the path. They even, in a way, became one with it, so that even if they didn't know where the path led, they'd already become the stones they walked upon. They already became the tree lining the path. They already became the soil under their feet, so much so that they themselves were the path. They knew its every fiber. They knew its every turn, for it was them. Where it was leading became less of a concern to them, because they'd already become its essence, and therefore they breathed in the nature of the land, the nature of its grace, its balance, its assurance in all things good and positively yielding. There was no wrestling or seeking. There were no storms, for they just were the path. They were their own home. They were their own destiny, and it was there on that path that they knew they were home, in a divine place of co-creation, of living the consciousness that creates worlds, and all that is ever needed together. They were not alone or separated, struggling or weathered. They were at peace, because peace was the path of rightful living. Dear one, this is the story of you. This is the story of your family's journeying. The first cycle is your family's experiences of several different homes that all seem to provide for you through lifetimes, and certainly in your early years together this lifetime. And yet storms would rise up to call you to new places, to new homes, to new safety and security, away from those storms, where you could seek peace and peaceful living. Yet peace wasn't always found, for it was not one within, only sought without. And so you are called to the oasis. In this lifetime, this is your home. It seems to provide all that you need, yes? Gardens, sanctuary, havenness in your daily lives, but its mirage-like energies make you sleepy. It would seem it would provide all that you need, but it somehow doesn't. And that stirs up a lack of peace or restlessness in you too, doesn't it? Its own inner storm, for it is not co-creatorship, is it? The synergy of land working in harmony with you and you with it, and thus co-creation in fulfillment. It is more of a stopping point, a layover, a landover in the journey. It is the storm you now feel, a growing urgency to not fall asleep in its mirage-like essence, an urgency to join life again, where every day is an exchange with the Earth Mother and Divine Heavenly Mother Father God in all its glory and graciousness. This is the nudging to greater awakeness you feel, to not succumb to sleepiness in the land of false gifts and false security, but rather to seek to find a true path in daily communion with Spirit, your own, the land, and the divinity of physical life on any planet. This is a higher vibrational calling, one that sets a new kind of path that goes beyond culturally preset tones of success and security. It opens you back into the arms of the Creator and the Earth Mother, who welcome your return in partnership and wholeness seeking, to be one and at peace in knowingness of oneself and the journey. The peace is in being everything and nothing in every step, the all that is and the void in every moment, in being the totality of the coin, the talents, the universe, self-contained and self-infinite, all in one broad universal brushstroke. When you become the stone in the path, the air you breathe, the tree you see, the water you bathe in, you become the path, or the path becomes you. Thus, your task now is to remember you are not a child of your present homestead, or a child of your parents, or a child of past patterns or journeys taken. You become a child of the earth again, who is home wherever you are, for you have remembered your divinely seeded origins. You become the pathway's seed, the original seed of light that has no beginning and no end. And thus your attraction to create this living embodiment in a seed house, on new land, or in a new voyage that knows no beginning and no end, that simply is the next known stone in a path that is you, that can grow into ocean or mountain or anywhere else your divinity takes you on the plains of inner destination and knowingness whenever needed. Returning to a state of seed or seedling opens up a whole new dimensional field in your conscious awareness. For as you become it, you open to its next germinations, that in the land of false slumber, ease, and cultural security and insecurity, you simply cannot reach. It is a quest of faith to remember your divine seed, and to know it can grow in conscious cultivation anywhere. For you are anywhere and everywhere and all things in between when you align with this greater path of peace, which is an inward path, not an outer one. And when your seed returns to the heart of the Great Mother, she then births you all over again, realigned at her breast in the energies of the divine feminine and balanced with the divine masculine, to reseed a new nation, a new planet, a new earth of star-seeded integrated light and path makers of peace. The children of the earth are returning, dear one, to the seeds they themselves are. And to do so, they will seek land spaces again, where their organic blueprints can germinate, grow, and remember their origins as well. You will be a part of creating a remembrance garden for the children of the earth. And in this process, many will heal the questing ills long plaguing many seeking today as you have been. This is why you must eat now as seedlings do, the foods that naturally and divinely nourish the divine temple blueprint chalice. Nothing else will suffice. You can't feed donuts to a blueberry bush. You must feed it water and sunlight for it to flourish, plus proper soil. You, my dear, need this higher octave soil, the food of this land space, in ways only your inner path comprehends. This is your seed starter. You don't have to know where it will grow. You just have to know the land, its stones, its trees, its grasses, its animals, to remember the Earth Mother and core template, to activate to a new level. The next steps of peace will reveal themselves in time. Seeds need only sunlight, water, and nourishment. And this next path offers all of these. Listen to your inner pathways, dear one. They are leading you off grid to know the true path. You are loved, dear one. You are love. All my love.